And welcome to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. I'm your host. My topic this evening is an upcoming benefit, which actually sounds really cool for dog adoption and all that other fun stuff. And with me to discuss this evening's topic are Sue and Chris. Ladies, welcome.
Hi.
How are we?
We're good.
Are we good?
We're great.
Thanks for having us.
I was going to say you're just good now. 30 seconds ago you were
awesome.
you were fabulous. All right. So what we're going to do is we'll start with Sue. Sue, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you and what exactly do you do?
I am Sue Hakowski, and I'm one of the core volunteers of Homeward Bound Adoption Events.
Okay.
And what we do is we create adoption events to help rescues. So we'll find a location, we'll promote the event, we'll help them with pre-screening adopters, have them come, they bring their dogs, we help with interview, follow-up visits, the whole 9 yards as far as helping rescues find homes for their dogs. We also do small events throughout the year with Pet Value and any other location that wants us to come. So that's one main thing, and another thing is we do fundraising to help rescues. So we'll help mostly Connecticut rescues, but we do have a couple of out-of-state rescues we'll work with. And we'll help by fundraising because they have dogs in financial need, or if we have fosters available, we'll help foster a dog, or we'll just continue to promote the dogs throughout the year as they come up on Facebook or on our website so that the dogs are visible, which makes a big difference as far as the shelter community.
How long have you been with the organization?
We actually just started in September of 2014, and
Wow,
already
okay,
we've
so you
got
guys are fairly new.
fairly new, and
Fairly new,
already we've
excellent.
adopted out almost 150 dogs.
Wow.
Found homes for, which is great.
Good for you guys.
So
Good
yeah,
for
it's
you
very
guys.
exciting.
And Chris, what about you?
I am the president and founder of Connecticut Animal House. We're a nonprofit
All right.
that supports Connecticut municipal shelters and their animals. I started Connecticut Animal House when I was working as an animal control officer, and we were getting animals into the shelter that needed emergency medical, behavioral training, things that the municipalities did not have the budgets for. So we became a nonprofit, and now we support shelters all throughout the state.
Wow, that's pretty. Got to keep you guys pretty busy.
Very busy.
Very busy?
Very busy. I'm on the road every day.
I was going to
Yes.
say you're probably on the road as much as I am.
Yeah, it's great though. I mean,
Is it?
Yeah.
Now, what else can we tell our viewers and our listeners about the organizations before you guys have an event coming up, which we're going to get to, but I figured we'd spend the first few minutes of the segment talking.
Homeward Bound and Connecticut Animal House, both are on Facebook.
Okay.
You can, if you're looking for a dog, it's really great to get on Pet Finder, type in your local zip code.
Yep.
You'll find Connecticut Animal House dogs on the website, on Pet Finder and Adopt a Pet.
Yes.
And
our Facebook
Homeward Bound, when we do have dogs, or when we do have events, we have dogs available. But again, it's a really great thing to keep an eye out, look for dogs. I think people are, a lot of people have breed specific. They're very specific on, I want this dog. And we find that many dogs, many times when we have an adoption event, someone will come in saying, oh, I'm looking for a golden retriever, and they'll walk out with a little Jack Russell. So we ask everybody to be open-minded, come with an open heart, come with an open mind. Don't be so breed specific.
Right.
What you want is you want the dog that's going to fit into your lifestyle. And I think that's what Connecticut Animal House does, and that's what Homeward Bound does, is we actually try to make sure that it really is going to be a good fit, because it's not worth it if it's not going to work and the dog ends up back in the shelter. It's more stress for the dog.
Exactly. That was actually going to be a question. As far as, because I'm assuming there's people that'll say, oh great, we're getting a dog, and then they realize how much work the dog is, and then they take the dog back to
Exactly.
wherever.
Well, hopefully for any dogs that are adopted through Homeward Bound, and I know also with Connecticut Animal House,
Yeah.
there is a contract that says if you have a problem, please come back to us.
Right.
So we will take the dogs back, we'll foster them and try to find the right home. It's not an ideal situation, but we would rather see that happen than them being just left and dumped at a shelter, because that's not, they're not necessarily going to be able to take the time to find the right home. Now, I know for Connecticut Animal House, I think all the dogs are fostered.
They are.
So they're in that
they're
home
all
environment
fostered.
beforehand, which
I was
is
gonna
which
say,
is
can you
great.
tell us a little bit about that, Chris?
We pull animals from the shelter that are facing euthanasia.
Yeah.
We also support animals while they are still in animal control. But the ones that we pull, we have foster homes that the animals go to, where they can be in a home setting, kind of decompress from shelter life.
Right.
They're also rehabilitated. A lot of them have extreme medical issues that we will address, so our fosters will care for them till they're ready to be adopted. And then we have a process where you fill out an application, we do a home visit, try to match people up with a dog that's going to be a good fit for them. We want it to be great for the dog and great for the family as well.
I was going to say, obviously, how long does the process take? Probably takes a couple days.
Yeah, it doesn't really take that long.
Yes.
It depends, with schedules and everything. It depends when they can do a meet and greet. If they have another animal, we want to make sure that, they're compatible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't want to bring somebody in with somebody who's already there and says, all right, this is not going to work.
Yeah, and there's a bit of time for everyone to settle in and get to know one another, and they will have their little tiffs, but
Exactly.
we're there to support them. I know Homeward Bound is great because adopters can just call, and any issues they have, Homeward Bound will help to address them. And
We are also very lucky where I know Connecticut Animal House and Homeward Bound, we have trainers who are amazingly supportive of all of our adopters. And I know you've used Albright Canines many times with dogs that are still in the shelter environment and need that rehabilitation and need to be read. So our goal is hopefully for any dog that we are adopting out, we're comfortable knowing that it's not an aggressive dog. It's not going to be an issue. Hopefully we'll find the right home for it. If we know it's not supposed to be with a cat, we won't put it in a house with a cat.
Exactly.
There are a lot of people think it's very easy to just adopt a dog or want it to be an easy process, and it's not. It's something that we have to. We want to take time to make sure it is going to be the right fit.
I was going to say, you just brought up another point, another question. As far as you said, adopting a dog isn't easy. What is the?
Well, I say it isn't easy. To go through Homeward Bound, there is an application, just as there is with Connecticut Animal House. We check references, we check vets, and we check non-related references. We'll take that time. If it's a first-time adopter, we'll try to do a home visit and check out the house. And at our adoption events, they're interviewed by our dog handlers. We'll make sure there's a good match. They'll also be interviewed by our interview team and then also by the rescue. So to come to an event for us, you may be there 3 hours. And I know people who were there all day Saturday and didn't get the dog till Sunday. So it's not easy, but when we go to do our follow-up visits at the end and we see that it's a perfect fit and we don't get panic calls and whatever, it's worth it. And they're usually, the end result is the adopter is very happy that we took the time to make sure it was the right dog.
Right, exactly.
Because we have had people come in and say they wanted this dog and they gave us an entire list and they went through and all those dogs weren't going to be a good fit. And I showed this woman one dog and she's like, oh my God, that's it. It's the perfect fit. And she had literally a list of 10 of our dogs that she wanted to see first. She never even looked at this one, never thought of it. So
really?
That's why we hope our rescues.
personal shopping, although not shopping.
Exactly.
Personal adopting.
Exactly.
I was going to say.
the rescues we work with or we've worked with for years and we trust them to know what that dog is like and what that dog needs for a home environment. And even though someone may say, I've always had Jack Russells, they're now 70 years old and they can't really deal with that energy, we'll find them the right dog. And usually it's a good fit. We do have returns.
Really?
It does happen, yes.
no.
It'll always happen, but.
Now, do you guys have, this question is for both of you, do you guys have people who walk in with a list of dogs that they want to look at?
At our adoption events, we will, just because we've posted those dogs. All those dogs are
Okay.
available on Adopt-A-Pet. Usually we try to get them available and visible so that we can have applications out for them beforehand.
Okay.
So yeah, some people will, but not always. Not always. We have a lot of people who will come, and we've had an adoption event where there was one Boston Terrier, and we must have gotten 20 applications out of the 50 we got beforehand, all for this one dog. And I was like, there's going to be a riot when the doors open.
No.
Luckily, the first person who came in was the person who got the dog, so we were good with that. But it does happen.
Now where are your events mostly held?
We've had events at the Durham Fairgrounds,
Sure.
and this year we will have one at Durham Fairgrounds, Chester Fairgrounds. We had one. We'll have one at the Guilford Fairgrounds this year, and also at North Haven Fairgrounds. And that event is going to be strictly for only Connecticut dogs.
Really?
We do invite Connecticut rescues to come to our other events, but we also have an out-of-state rescue that we've worked with that brings up a good amount of dogs. So if they have dogs and they want to come, it's not always the best environment for some of the local dogs, you know, the shelter dogs, because they are in shelters.
Right.
So they have that stress where the dogs coming up are usually decompressed.
Exactly. I was going to say, being a shelter dog is probably no fun.
No, it's probably not.
It's probably no fun, just
isn't.
hanging out in a cage all day. It's no.
No, it's not ideal.
No, definitely not. And actually, we've got about a minute left. So before we go into a break, what else would you like to tell our viewers and our listeners about your organizations? Chris?
I would like to say, please visit your Connecticut shelters. There's a lot of wonderful dogs there. There's pure breeds, there's big, small,
All different sizes.
all different sizes. And these dogs really need you. And when you take a dog out of a shelter, that dog they bond with you immediately.
Oh, definitely.
You saved them.
Exactly. Would you guys mind sticking around for another segment?
Sure.
All right. We'll be
Thanks.
right back after a short break.
Alvin and the Chipmunks want to remind you, bacteria can hide in food and make you ill.
Wow.
But you can keep bacteria from ruining your day with 4 simple steps. Clean,
I'm waiting for the rinse cycle.
separate, cook,
Fire in the hole!
and chill.
We chipmunks are notoriously tidy.
Check your steps. The road trip to food safety starts at foodsafety.gov.
Adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
And welcome back to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. Sitting here with Sue and Chris, and we're talking dogs and events and wine and food and all that other
Good stuff.
all that
Doesn't
other
go
good
much
stuff
better
that
than
comes
that.
with it. But we're going to talk about wine and food here in a few minutes. But for our viewers and listeners just joining us, I'm going to start the segment by telling us. Let's start from the top and tell us a little bit about who each of you are and what organizations you represent. Go ahead, Sue.
I'm Sue Hakowski, and I represent Homeward Bound Adoptions Connecticut.
Okay.
We are a group of volunteers who our focus is helping rescues find homes for their dogs in whatever way we can.
All right.
That's it. Pretty simple.
That's it. All right. Chris, go for it.
I'm Chris Lamb. I'm the president and founder of Connecticut Animal House, and we assist Connecticut shelters with their animals by providing medical support, behavioral training, whatever they need. So they have the best food. So they have the best chance at getting an adoptive home.
Excellent. And all right, it is now time. Let's talk food. Speaking of, let's talk food, let's talk beverages, let's talk adult cocktails and all that other fun, all the other fun stuff that comes with it. From
Sounds
what I
great.
understand, You guys have an event coming up.
We do. We have an event. It's called Spay It Forward, Connecticut.
Okay.
It's at the Blue Hound Tap Room in Iverton, Connecticut. It's a fairly new restaurant, and the owners there are very, very supportive of rescue.
Excellent.
So we reached out to them because we wanted to be able to help the Connecticut shelter dogs a little bit more.
Okay.
And if they're spayed and neutered prior to being adopted,
Right.
it is a really win-win situation. They'll get adopted faster probably because they were already spayed and neutered. We're guaranteed they're spayed and neutered so that there is no more unwanted puppies, which does happen all the time. And it's just, I think it's a good fit. So what we're trying to do is raise funds, and all of these funds will go towards strictly spaying and neutering of Connecticut shelter dogs. We actually have 2 dogs already that are going to schedule to be spayed and neutered on World Spay Day, which is tomorrow, February 23rd. Thanks to the generosity of Dr. Keith Norbert of Chester Veterinarian Hospital. He's donating his time on his day off to spay and neuter these 2 dogs for us.
Excellent.
And so with the funds we've already raised and his donation, we'll be able to spay a female, Luna, and Bart from Groton Animal Control and
Norwich Animal Control.
Norwich Animal Control. So that's basically what we're trying to do. So on our website, Homeward Bound Adoption Events, we have a link for rescues to sign up if they have dogs that need to be spayed or neutered. We have a link for veterinarians to also sign up if they want to donate. And also if anybody wants to donate to our amazing event, which is March 21st, which will have a lot of local beers from Stubborn Beauty, Steady Habits, Outer Light. A lot of the local breweries right here in Connecticut are donating beers and events. Have hot appetizers and a silent auction.
Very nice.
So we're hoping that we'll be able to raise a good amount of funds, and we're hoping that this is an ongoing process so that we can do it every year and continue to do it.
And again, the event is when? August?
March 21st.
March 21, yeah.
From 6 to 9
Right.
at the Blue Hound Tap Room, 107 Main Street, Iverton, Connecticut.
Tickets, how much?
Tickets are $25. That includes hot appetizers and 1 free cocktail.
Nice.
And we know that some of the beer there will have been donated from local breweries,
Okay.
so that any of the proceeds from that beer that you buy, because it'll be cash bar after that,
Yep.
will all go towards Spay It Forward. So it's a win-win
Very
situation.
nice.
You get to drink and help dogs. Doesn't get any better than that?
What's better than-
And food.
What's better than that?
Nothing.
Sounds like a perfect Monday night
It
to me.
is. Yes, it is. That's right. It is a Monday night,
It is-
so.
I was going to say, looking at my schedule, it is a Monday evening. Chris, tell us a little bit about your organization for everybody that's just joining us.
Well, our organization, we really support Connecticut shelters, and we help a lot of animal control officers. I spend most of my time during the week driving around to the local facilities, some not so local. The animal control officers sometimes will call if they have a cruelty case, a medical issue, broken leg, a dog needing heartworm treatment.
Yeah.
And they don't have it in their budget,
Right.
you know, for large medical bills. So we will help them out. Sometimes we do take the dogs into foster. Sometimes we will just provide them with the funds. We do a lot of transporting for spay and neuter appointments, and this is Spay It Forward is a wonderful idea, and it's going to be a great event.
Exactly.
I find that it can make a real difference in the adoptability of a dog if it is spayed and neutered and already vetted. They're much more likely to get a home. Yeah.
Now, as far as events that you guys do, is obviously that for each of you, this is the big event, but you guys do other events throughout the year?
This is our big event and again, all of these funds are going directly to the Spay It Forward, where we do other, fundraising events. We're doing photo shoots with the Easter Bunny at a Pet Value. We do a lot of smaller events. I know Connecticut Animal House does a big fundraiser in October.
Yes, we do. We have our annual fundraiser at Fox Hop Yard in Haddam.
Golf?
And at the golf course, yeah.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, and
that's golf.
that's a lot of fun. That'll be coming up in October
Okay.
this year. Yeah.
Very nice.
And
Well,
then we do smaller adoption events and other fundraising throughout the year. Fundraising never ends
oh no! Oh, trust me, I know
for
that.
either one of us, I'm sure. Yeah.
No, it doesn't, and it's an ongoing, and we're always happy to be able to help. I know you had asked what Connecticut Animal House does. I know they had a dog that was found by Montville Animal Control, a sweet little beagle who needed ACL, needed dental work. They
She
thought
was a
she had
money pit.
celiac.
Oh,
She
no.
and Connecticut Animal House took that dog, and we all tried to fundraise, and she was spayed, and she had her ACL surgery and dental work, but
Yeah,
she's
Homeward
also,
Bound donated to Dottie's Care, which was wonderful, so we were able to get her.
but she's also looking for a
ACL
home
repaired,
on
yeah.
Connecticut Animal House.
Yes,
Oh,
she
really?
is.
Yes,
She's
she
not.
is.
She's not. She's homeless still.
She's
yeah,
in
she's-
foster right now.
She's with her
no.
foster mom,
no.
recovering from ACL surgery, and she's doing great. And she would love to find a home. She's
Yes.
a 7-year-old female, loves everybody,
I was gonna say when
good
she
with dogs and cats. Yeah.
she had
just-
surgery when.
Now it was almost two months ago.
All right,
Now,
okay,
yeah.
all right.
So she's had some physical therapy, and
Oh, good.
and she's doing great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Amazing. What else do we want to tell everybody out there in TV?
Adopt, don't shop.
Exactly. Yeah.
Spay, neuter, adopt, love. That's our motto for our Spay It Forward campaign.
All right. I got a question for both of you.
Sure.
Why is it if I didn't know either of you and just walked in off the street and just found out about your organizations and said, "Hey, I'm looking to adopt a dog." What would you tell me? Why should I go through your organization rather than?
Well, what we do is we'll tell people to fill out an application,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll pre-screen the adopter, and then
Okay.
we'll pass them on to the rescues. I usually tell people to go on Pet Finder or Adopt a Pet, look, search for the dog. I also tell them, if you find a dog, to contact me. I can tell you whether that really is a Connecticut dog. We do have a lot of Connecticut rescues who list as a Connecticut rescue, but the dogs are being shipped up. And believe me, I don't
Really?
believe that dogs have a
Yeah.
zip code in any way, but we do have Connecticut dogs, so I would rather see those Connecticut dogs find their homes first. It happens.
I was gonna say you have dogs shipped, really?
Oh, yeah,
Ah.
it definitely happens, and it's not, a dog is a dog as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
But we do try to reach out to rescues that we know are reputable and take
Right.
the time
Oh,
and
totally.
support those dogs.
Oh, yeah, totally.
And that's what we do. So if we know somebody's looking for a 7-year-old beagle, we'll send them over to Connecticut Animal House
There
and
you
say,
go.
you've got her.
And Homeward Bound has been great. I mean, they really support us and our animals, and anything we need, we know we can call them. They're great friends, and yeah, they're terrific.
Very nice, very nice. So let's talk a little bit about the event coming up in March before we say goodnight. So let's talk about food.
Okay, food. Well, I know the Blue Hound is actually donating again their location, which is amazing. That's Tracy and Matt Carroll.
Okay.
So make sure you go there sometime.
All right.
They have amazing food upstairs in their tap room. They have, light fare type food. So she's supplying all the food. I'm not really sure exactly what's going to be there, but I trust her because I've eaten there many a times, and
Okay.
it's always good food.
Excellent.
And again, there will be local beers and obviously regular domestic beers,
Crisp.
and also wines from the local wineries will be there.
Very nice.
All for a great cause.
It is.
Exactly.
It sounds like.
Ending overpopulation.
I was going to say
in our state by spaying and neutering.
It sounds like an awesome cause, and what you two guys do it's just absolutely amazing. So hopefully you guys will come back on with me again, and we can
Thank you.
talk about
Thanks for
more
having
events.
us.
But we're
Definitely.
not ready to say goodnight yet.
Okay.
We still got a few more minutes. As far as the event's March 21st. What time?
6 to 9.
Okay.
6 p.m. to 9.
Tickets are
$25. They're available at the door or online.
Okay.
You can go to Homeward Bound Connecticut Facebook page. You can get them from there, or you can get them from our website, which is Homeward Bound Adoption Events.
I was going to say, if you guys missed any of this tonight, you can go to my site, and I will put links up to the organizations, the event, and tonight's show. I want to
Excellent.
thank you guys for coming down tonight. Hopefully, we'll have you on again.
Thank you. We'd be
Thanks.
happy to come back.
You got it. Thanks.
Awesome.
Good night, and we'll see you next week.